gonna do is you're gonna work on waiting. So what waiting looks like is when you're holding an object and the child wants this object and you just hold it up and wait. And you look at them expectantly, you want them to attempt something, you want them to reach, you want them to verbalize or vocalize and go, ah, and then you can give them the toy. That waiting response that we provide cues your child that, oh, she's not doing anything. I need to tell her I really want it, so I need to put my hand out, I need to grab for it. The key too with this is I hold it just out of their reach and I'm pretty quick to move it because sometimes those little guys can grab for it really fast. And if they do, then just give it to them. Don't fight with them over the toy. But I try to just keep it up closer to me to where they can reach for it but won't actually take it from me because you don't want them to grab it. And as they get a little bit older, if you have a young one that's only like 15, 18 months, you're just gonna give it to them and they're just gonna grab with an open hand. But a different way, a waiting response, is for them to work on them turning their hand and you give it to them. So what that looks like is you've been waiting and they're reaching, they're grabbing, and you're gonna take their hand and flip it over and then give them the toy. So that's a really easy way and a change in their gesture to go from the grabbing to more of an open hand. So if you have a child who's a big grabber and they're always grabbing all the toys, then you might want to start modeling turning their hand. And with that, you're going to physically turn it and help shape it and then give them a toy. You want to do it pretty quick because they'll get frustrated. It's with everything with these little guys, you do it quickly and you move on. Because holding on to something too long and trying to drag it out, it just frustrates them too much. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to follow their eyes. So if they are looking and focusing in on one of the boxes, and you might say, oh, you're looking at the bird. Look at the bird. It has a wing, it has eyes and a beak. You're going to comment about what they see. And you keep looking for their eyes. If they're down here looking at this cat and you're talking to them over here, they're not really hearing you because they're thinking about what they're looking at. So by you adding language, you're teaching them the vocabulary for what they see is what they'll know about, and they can use that language later on. The next step is pausing. So a pause is when we have been doing something repetitively. So for example, we have been building this tower over and over and over again, and every time we get to the top, we're gonna knock it down. But before we knock it down, we do ready, set, and you give them that expectant look again, and then they might say, go, or they might go ahead and knock it down. And if they do, that's great because they're not quite using their words yet. But what we're trying to get them to do is start to initiate an for go. So we keep doing it. You've done it many times, 10 times, 15 times. Ready, set, go. And you model the word and knock it down. Every time your child will laugh hysterically. They love building things and knocking them down. It's an adorable thing. But if they don't imitate the word go, if they don't use the gesture, you do it for them, and over time, they will start to imitate those skills. Now, also while you're playing, you're gonna wanna imitate whatever they're doing too. If they're making sounds, if they start banging the blocks or playing them like a drum, then you can imitate that and add language. With all of these steps, it's about you adding language to what they're doing to encourage them to learn the new vocabulary. So if they're banging on these blocks, you're gonna go, oh, boom, 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 and then you stop and you wait. And if they want you to do it again, maybe they hit the blocks, as you go, oh, boom, 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 and you stop again and you wait. And maybe they do it again and you go, boom, 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 and you stop. So that is also building that back end. That's the wait, that's the fill-ins because you're waiting and maybe they say boom, or maybe they just do the gesture again, they imitate the sound. You can even vary it and go bump, ba-dum, bump, bump, and do different beats with that to see if they can imitate those different sounds. It's another great way to do it. Ultimately, I think play is fun. This toy really encourages a lot of language use, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do.